Hey guys, what's going on? This is Casher here with YS Stocks and Options, and wanted to just give you guys a progress report on where we at with the market forecast. And addition to that, we just wanted to talk about the market itself, right? Where we at, what we're seeing, and where we could potentially be headed to, right? So the first thing that we're going to talk about is Lemonade, right? Lemonade is a stock that I love to trade, and this stock in particular, I trade it every week, right? Every week I jump on it, and we also provide it for our community members for them to make, a few quick $100, a few $1,000 or whatnot. So Lemonade, believe it or not, the forecast that we did for Lemonade was $20.30, and Lemonade exceeded that, right? And this is Lemonade, and it's currently trading right now $22.07. So that was a very successful trade here for Lemonade, right? So again, the forecast was $20.30, and it went as far as 22, right? We know that Lemonade has resistance around $23, and also, well, we know it has resistance at $22.07 and also $23. So, what we expecting from Lemonade, given the volume, right? We probably seeing that it may test the 23 resistance level, right? Possibly test the 23 resistance level before, right, coming down, right, coming down here to 1945, right? So this is a short. We're gonna do a short term, right? Short term upside, but eventually revisiting the lower lows here. When we're gonna notice that based on volume, right? So we'll see how that works out, how it plays out. But given and the reason why I say that is because look at this, right? When we look at the RSI, right? Not the RSI, but we look at the CCI itself. It's in the overbought territory, right? So Lemonade right now is in overbought territory. Boom, right? It's way, way, way overbought. So eventually this has to come down, right? Looking at the commodity channel index. Also, stochastics is pointing upward, but the really confirmation here is the overbought territory with the CCI. So we're gonna see what exactly Lemonade is gonna do within this area here, right? Given that we already made profits on this one in particular, we're going to see what Lemonade does here, right? Probably is going to distribute and then decline as the fourth phase of the market. So let's get into the market forecast, right? So the market forecast, first of all, I want to start with the IWM, the Russell 2000. So for IWM, the Russell 2000, we forecasted that IWM will hit $176.60. Believe it or not, right? This is what's on July 1st. Right now we're in July 8th, and look, okay, we're still a day shot from actually the market closing. But currently, right now, the Russell 2000 is at 175.48. So as you can see here, this is grinding higher, higher, higher. If you'd have jumped on this one here, right, IWM, you'd definitely be making some profits on it. Again, every week we do the market forecast, and you guys can see that this is not a game whatsoever, right? The forecast for the Dow Jones Industrial is 316.50, and currently right now it's trading at $313.50. Well, 95 cents after hours. So again, we have one more trading day, and we'll see if he actually hits there. But nonetheless, buying this one on Monday when we actually made the forecast, we made the forecast this weekend. If you'd have bought it on Tuesday, being a short week, you'd have been making some nice profits on this one in particular. Let's go to the Qs, right? Triple Qs. So the triple Qs not only did exceed, right? Because I was a little bit modest in this one, but this was a successful trade, right? The forecast again was for 289, 290. Right, you can round that off. But right, the Qs, right? The Nasdaq 100 exceeded that. It's trading at 294 right now. So again, boom, that was spot on the money. So we're gonna remove that bad boy there because that was success, right? And right here again, it has resistance right here. So given the volume, came a little bit lower, and so a little bit over here, overbought. We're gonna see what the Nasdaq 100 is gonna do, right? Again, that's a gap here that has to be filled. So it may fill that gap, it may not. So tomorrow we'll be testing that hypothesis if that gap is going to be filled or not, right? It's going to be tomorrow, but eventually, after that gap fill, right, we should easily come right back down, right, to 287, right, a little bit lower, right. Let's go to the spiders. When we look at the S&P 500, forecast was spot on, right? 390. It actually hovered around 390 a few times. It hit it right there a few times, right? However, that was the high for today. So this was a success. So spot on again, right? From the time that we actually named it. So again, accuracy. That's what we pride ourselves on. So this was a successful trade here. Now, right? Given that there's a gap again, that's a gap here, right? Gap here that has to be filled. Do I think it's gonna go to $401? Not really, right? Don't think that it's gonna fill that gap now, right? It could potentially someday, but I'm not seeing 401, right? But again, I could be wrong, right? But that gap here serves as a magnet, and with the volume decreasing, you see a decrease in volume on the way up, right? The S&P 500 may exhaust itself, may go up a little bit more, but we'll see what it does Friday. But eventually it's going to come right back down, right? The VIX. We talked about the VIX. My projection for the VIX was 2547. As you guys can see here, it went to 2565, right? 18 cents, right? Off 18 cents. We still have a trading day for the VIX itself, but closed there in a nice little, looks like a hammer candlestick, right? So we're going to see if the VIX is going to go a little bit down some more, but 2547 was my projection for the VIX. It went as low as 2567 and 65, as I said. Given all these down days, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? We're going to see what the VIX does before it actually, right, ranges a little bit higher. But as you guys can see here, the VIX is really in oversold territory, right? Right. So right, we're going to see what it does for the upcoming days or weeks or whatnot. So again, the forecast, again, if you would have gotten any of the forecasts that we actually gave you guys, you would have noticed how successful those were in making you some nice little profits or whatever. I jumped in, and I always jumped in my forecast. I jumped in SPY and also the Qs. Took about 60% profits today, and we're going to try to keep it moving and do the same thing on. We're going to try to do the same thing next week or whatnot. So let's see here. So the last thing I want to talk about was the broader market, right? How do we stack up? And I'm going to really talk about the Qs and the Qs on a weekly chart and also the S&P 500, right? So when we look at the Qs, the candles really tell you a story. And when we look at the Qs around January timeframe, we're here a shooting star. And ever since that shooting star, we had the market, at least the Qs, go lower and lower and lower, right? Lower, right? Retesting the mean here, another shooting star, going lower and try to retest the mean once again, 21 exponential moving average, right? It's been making lower highs ever since December, January timeframe. Lower high here, right? Lower high there, right? This is in April, lower high in May, and another lower high in July, right? So we're in a downtrend. That's the whole story here. We find ourselves at a key resistance area of $295, $295, $96 when it comes to the Qs. So this is a key level in which we'll see the NASDAQ 100 either break it or go below it, right? So time will tell, but given all the geopolitical issues that we have around the world, and also inflation worries, right? We saw the market really scaled down a little bit today, being that the federal hogs downplayed the recession fear. So, in essence, that's why the market rallied, right? And also, and to include that, the jobless claims rose a little bit by 1,000, um, 1,000 past what was expected. So it's 235,000 versus 234 expected. So I'm truly interested to see what we're gonna see on next week, right? Again, given the economical market and the calendar and things that we have in store. I'll give you an example. Next week we have, we have the same reports, right? For next week, we have the consumer price index, right? That's going to be a really key telling on Wednesday, right? July 13th, on how the economy looks, right? We know that food right now is 10%, 11% higher, right? When it comes to food, and poultry, meat is about 14 or 15% higher. So the consumer price index report itself on Wednesday, should I say, July 13th, it's really going to be telling in which way the market wants to go, right? The CPI number. We have initial jobless claims and continuous claims on Thursday, July 14th, and then we close the week that Friday, July 15th, with retail sales numbers, and to include business inventory. So next week is going to be interesting. Very interesting week with all the economic reports that we have, and also the Fed budget comparison versus the year ago, which is going to be also on Wednesday, right? So Wednesday is going to be big day for us next week, right? And if you ask them, probably a guessing, hey, where are you seeing that? Go to marketwatch.com, economy, that's politics slash calendar. You'll see here, right? This is what we got going on next week's major U.S. Economic reports and Fed speakers. So Monday, right, 30-year inflation expectations. We got small business index, right? Really the key giveaway is Wednesday, July 13th. Again, CPI, core CPI. And then we also have the federal budget comparisons versus year ago here. So that's that when it comes to the reports. But let me show you what we're seeing with the S&P 500, right? Like we're seeing the same dilemma with S&P 500. Again, this is the weekly chart. So each one of these candles represents 1 week. Again, we had a high here, right? We had the high here on June timeframe, right? December, end of December, first week of January. I don't know why I say June. First week of January, we had a high, and then we've been making lower highs thereafter, right? Lower high here, right? Followed by another lower high, right? Followed by, of course, you guessed it, another lower high, right? So this is a downtrend, right? Where exactly this downtrend is going to end, I don't know, right? Your guess is as good as mine. But again, just like the Qs, NASDAQ 100, this is a key level here of resistance, right? Prior support, now resistance for the S&P 500. And anything could happen, right? Anything can happen. The CCI right now has been below the zero line for quite some time. And we know when the CCI is below the zero line, it's considered bearish, right? Bearish. So really interesting to see what's going to happen next week with all the nice reports that we have coming up. So for myself, when it comes to the S&P 500, I am truly interested in a few things, right? Tomorrow, I'm interested to see tomorrow where exactly the SPY is going to head. Again, we have that gap here that still serves as a magnet, right? So given the candle here, but the decrease in volume, I may still see us go a little bit higher, right? If we break through this key resistance level of $390, right? $389, $390, right? Key level of resistance here. If we break through here, I can definitely potentially see us possibly test. I don't see us going all the way to $400, right? Possibly try to test 395, right, before coming down, given that we're losing motivation here. That's how I call volume motivation. We're losing motivation here with as we have been grinding higher and for this week, right? Again, this is just ideas here, trading ideas. Let us know what you guys think, right? But bottom line, guys, we find ourselves in the bear market right now, right? Find ourselves in the bear market with recession wars at the tip of everybody's tongue. There's only 8 economists who can really tell us if we're in a recession or not, right? And that's another topic for another subject. But it's 8 economists, right, trusted by 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 those individuals, right? Which we'll talk a little bit later in another video. But they're the ones who determine if we are in a recession. And right now, like when we have job growth, right? Job growth month after month, it's really hard to say that we are in a recession environment. But that's a lot of peaks, a lot of things there. That definitely show us that we have symptoms of a possible recession. We always say practice logic over emotions. Always remember to set your stop loss and mitigate risk. And we'll see you guys at the finish line. Peace, be blessed. One.